Shalom. We are the true living Hebrew Israelites. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kadash, which is also including the Holy Spirit. We want to give double honors to our elders and apostles who rule Great Millstone well. And Shalom to all you Akim pushing this truth with sincerity and endurance. Shalom. We're going to just go ahead and start with 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Right. So what will be the pretty much asunder means to cut in half to show what time we're in. Read that again.
And answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Right. I'll get the one you're holding.
I'll get
Start with the first verse, I think.
And this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 2. Verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Hold that. Read that one more time.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Right. So there is something that shows what time it is. Well, you got to have a good understanding to even ask that question, because a lot of people are walking around like dead zombies, just trying to be consumed with pleasure and trying to get more advanced in this world that is of wickedness. And the men of the Lord are going to be watchmen, and they're going to be looking for the times.
Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die.
Right? So there's going to be a time to be born and a time to die. Well, the generations that are being born now are going to die. They're being born to be put to death in judgment, either by famine, pestilence, or thermonuclear fire when it comes. But call it up.
This is still 7. Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Good. So the beginning and the end of it that followeth. Okay? We've been under the rule of the so-called white man for quite some stretch of time. Okay? And just like it fell in the beginning, it's going to fall again. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob held first the hill of Esau.
Right, the twin brothers. It's the prophecy of the end times, where our kingdom comes at the fall of Esau's. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right, so Esau is the end of the world, and as you can see, they're falling. Every day they're falling, and they're falling so fast that they're trying to hide that they're falling. That's why you're starting to get this net neutrality. They're trying to cover that they're falling because their shame is becoming apparent. That's why you're seeing all this pedophilia being found in Hollywood. It's being exposed because of the speed of the internet, the YouTube. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the hill and the hand. Other questions Esdras asked about not. Thou not.
So he didn't ask no more questions. He was just trying to understand. And he's speaking to an angel, actually. Go ahead.
11. I answered then and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, if I have found favor in thy sight.
Right. And so that's how we're presenting ourselves also. If we have found pleasure in thy sight, meaning have we served him well. Go ahead.
Verse 12. I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens thereof. Thou showedest me part the last night.
Right. So the tokens are the signs of the last, pretty much at the end. Jacob's trouble is what he wants to see. Right as Yahushua is coming. Go ahead.
13. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet and hear a mighty sounding voice.
See, and that's the thing with these so-called prophets that on your ass instead of getting up on your feet. You, as a prophet, you're commanded to stand.
Come. This is Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
And see, that's why you're not in order, because all you're doing is typing all this crap. You're not crying aloud. Okay?
And shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
And see, a lot of YouTube prophets that are only doing videos behind closed doors, you're not bringing it to his people. You're actually attacking the men of the Lord most of the time. And that shows you don't know what time it is. Because if you knew what season it was, you would know how serious it is right now. It's not a fucking game right now. This is no time for fucking games. This is very serious. At any time they could unleash a plague upon America. At any time you could have a murdering spree where they explode a bomb in the middle of and you're caught in it. So it ain't time to play games. So
since you bring it up, we want to get this Ecclesiastes, because it goes right into what you just said. And this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
Right. There's a time to love and a time to hate. Just like, see, when it's summer, a lot of times you could leave the house without a coat. But in the winter, what if your car breaks down? You would be a fool to be out there in sandals and no coat, because you could die. And that's what's happening now. A lot of people, the times are getting cold, but people's love is starting to wax cold also. They're not able to see.
A time of war and a time of peace.
See, a time of war and a time of peace. But people want to think this is a time of peace, but it's a time of war right now. Everybody's getting ready to go to war against America. No? Go ahead.
What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth?
Right. So whatever you put your effort in, that's what's going to come back. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap.
What you say?
Right. So the men that are out here doing the commandments of coming out here and prophesying to the children of Israel, that's a sacrifice of obedience, of righteousness.
And that's the spirit too, because like you said, what you reap, you sow. Those Facebook prophets, those online prophets, net neutrality is about to fuck you up. You sowed all these seeds in the internet, and now the internet's about to be taken. You can't reap what's been taken.
And you actually reaped a blasphemy, especially if you're talking against the men of the Lord that is talking with the Spirit.
So you double lost.
Right. Go ahead, I'll call it out.
14.
What book?
Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 14. And it shall be as it were a great motion, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved.
Right. So our faith in this truth shall not be shook. The elect will not lose their faith. They will grow in faith. That's what this Jacob's trouble is going to do. It's going to purify you. How can you get Zechariah 13, chapter, I think 13, verse 8? And so it's going to purify our faith. But for the rest, it's going to destroy them. It's going to devour them. Is that it on that verse?
On 14.
So Zechariah 13.
Read that verse one more time.
And it shall be as it were a great motion.
Right, so it's gonna, like you see right now, America is going into great changes all at one time. All at one time. Go ahead.
But the place where thou standest shall not be moved.
So this truth that we stand on, which is Yahawashi, the truth of Yahawashi, because what did he do? He came to prove Yahweh. So we stand on that cornerstone, Yahawashi, and of course we're crushed by it. But the ones that he's going to devour are the ones that are going to be, they're going to be ground to the dust. He's going to land on you.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh,
all the land,
2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
2/3 of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians are going to be put to death. And that's throughout all the land, right?
But the 1/3 shall be left therein.
But 1/3 shall be left therein. And that 1/3 part of that will be saved out of this. The rest will be put to death, right?
And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and we will find them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
And he will hear us. See, and because we're being tried in the fire. But the rest of you that ain't tried in the fire, you're going to get burnt up.
I will say, it is my people, and they shall say,
Hold on.
Yahweh is my power.
Hold that up. What are you saying?
Nothing, she's a woman. You should stop right there.
What, do you believe in the Bible? You believe in the Bible?
Obviously not, because you're not moving.
Hold your peace and let us get a scripture, okay?
And this is Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1.
It's okay.
Cry aloud, spare not.
Spare not. So we're not out here to spare anybody's feelings.
Or any
This
words.
is very serious business right here. See, that's the problem. People don't want to take it serious. Everybody comes in. Ecclesiastes 3 again. See? And that's the thing. Our people are out of time. That's why you're gonna most 2/3, not most, 2/3 of Israel are gonna be put to death.
And that's
they're out of season.
And that's the best part, because the Elder Gabar just did a video on cursing. Peter cursed. David cursed. There's an entire psalm that is a curse. But hey, this is what happens when a Gadite woman without a husband tries to come up to the men of the Lord with the foundation and wants to bring disorder. It doesn't work. Because like the brother's doing, we're grabbing scripts. We have scripts to back our point up. What do they have? They have emotion. And emotion fades with the wind.
Right? Get that first verse.
Con. And this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So there's a time for everything. Yeah, there's a time to curse, you know, and there's a time not to. So-called curse. Saying bad words is not cursing. But when we say this harsh language, with harsh language, people get offended. There's a time for it. We're out here to honestly offend you.
God.
You know? When someone dies, to start their heart back up, it's not a easy thing. It's a hard shock. You know, it makes the whole body boom. You know, when they save someone's life, it's not always you coming out feeling good the next day.
You get a broken rib, you get the chest compressions.
Yeah, you get the Heimlich. They say a lot of times they do the Heimlich on people, it breaks their ribs. So to save your life, we're willing to offend you. But also at the same time as we're trying to wake you up, we're also calling for condemnation on them that don't wake up. You could drop that 3. Yeah, just that one, because I just wanted that point.
Yeah,
Go ahead, huh?
Verse 15. And therefore, when it speaketh, be not afraid, for the word is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood.
Right. So we know the seal's been broken and our mind's been able to obtain this knowledge. Through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kadash, you know, and with our elders' assistance as they lead us in this understanding. Keep going.
Verse 16.
But as you notice, they said, don't worry about what they're saying. We don't care if you're offended. We don't care if you don't like us. Because honestly, it ain't us you don't like, it's the Most High. And he's gonna have his turn where he gets that payback. And it's worse what he's gonna do than anything that any man could do. Go ahead.
And why? 16. And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed.
Right. Trembleth. Trembleth.
Right here, I look right at it. Y'all see a bus pass laying on the ground?
Nah, we ain't seen none.
Yeah.
Good. Lift up your voice, bro.
17.
No, that verse you just read.
16. And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed.
Right. That's what everybody's afraid of. That's why you don't want this place. I'll get that script. Them that honor worship the beast. You need, I can Google it. It's in, I believe, Revelation.
Yeah.
And that's what these people don't want. That's why they're upset. It's because we're going against what they think is reality. Let me see. It's Revelation 14:11.
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever.
Go to 10.
Come on. This is Revelation 14, verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
And that's getting that chip, that RFID chip, but also worship is having honor for this place, where you don't want to see America destroyed. We want to see America get destroyed, and it's going to get destroyed. It's going to get destroyed by war. It's going to get destroyed by famine. It's going to get destroyed by thermonuclear fire.
Hey, I got a precept on. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, verse 11. Wherefore, as I live, saith the Most High Yahweh, surely, because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all thy detestable things, and with all thine abominations.
Right, because people's existence today is an abomination. It's a disgusting thing to the Most High. Go ahead.
Therefore will I also diminish thee. Neither shall mine eye spare, neither will I have any pity.
There will be no pity when he comes. That's why it's actually funny when people come up and say, oh, you're hurting my feelings because you're cussing. The Lord